Yo, we have Amazon Prime Day to worry about today, folks. Actually, it's Amazon Prime Days because it lasts 48 hours, and right now we're right in the middle of it, and they do have plenty of stuff at decent, at least, discounts in the PC tech space. So I'm going to show you some of my top picks, what's in my cart, and what I will actually personally be buying. I can get a lot of this stuff for free if I just wait patiently from companies, but it's just easier sometimes to buy it yourself, and some of these deals are really good, so they might not even have enough inventory for review samples and builds and whatnot, so I'd rather buy it myself anyway. Plus, you get 2-day shipping, so some of these deals are going to be Prime exclusive. If you have Amazon Prime, then you're in the clear. If you don't have Amazon Prime, consider signing up, and if you do so via my link, it gives me a small bounty discount, actually a little kickback of like, it's like $1 or $2, something like that, but it's pretty small. But anyway, it helps me out, and you can find most of the stuff I'm going to show you in this video linked down below if you are interested. Most of the stuff I do have hands-on experience with, or at least secondhand experience with, so I'm not going to recommend a product I think is crap, and if the reviews on Amazon are overall decent, then I will feel comfortable showing it here. Let's dive in. If you're rocking the Windows 10 operating system and haven't activated your copy, click the link below and purchase an OEM license from SCD Key. Then click here, 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 and then here. Paste your activation key, and you'll have a fully activated OS in seconds. And be sure to use my offer code SStudio for an 18% discount on your order. So what I've got here is my cart, and so far 11 things. Like, it's not a ton, but look, you don't want to go spending your entire paycheck on stuff for Prime Day. So this is pretty much what I have. Again, you can find the stuff linked down below, and we're going to start here at the bottom and kind of work our way up. So here we go. This is a Sapphire RX 570 4 gig. Now it's not, it's not going to crush games in 1440p, but it is a nice intro card. Will handle 1080p with ease. And look, it's an AIB. It's going to run pretty cool. In my experience, Sapphire cards are just fine. You can see 24 reviews, 4 stars out of 5, and $120. How can you go wrong with a $120 card like this? And they're really cheap, and they're cheap in part because the architecture is older now, right? We're on Navi, but we only have a couple variants to worry about, and AIBs are slowly starting to push out their variants of those cards. So $120 is a really nice intro graphics card. It's going to be much better than a 1050 Ti or a GT 1030 or even something old school like an R9, 280X or something like that. So if you're considering a budget build and you want a game in 1080p for sure, even some newer titles or titles that are pretty intensive, maybe like GTA 5, even Witcher 3 you could get by with maybe medium settings and 1080p, maybe a little higher than that, then this card will serve you just fine. So $120 for that one, I think it's a good buy. Next up, we've got a Corsair Vengeance DDR4. By the way, none of these companies have paid me anything to show you what I'm showing you. This is just the stuff that I found. I'm sure you'll see a lot of the same stuff recycled on other channels and other videos pertaining to Prime Day, but this one caught my eye because it's only $69, and check this out. Well, this one's only $26.66. I believe we can get the black models for, what do you have, 3,000 here? Yeah, look at that, 3,000 megahertz, cache latency 15 at $70. So if you want maybe the white ones at a little slower speed, maybe have an Intel build in mind, then that frequency is not really going to matter as much. For Ryzen though, I'd obviously recommend the tighter timings, higher frequency, and 3,000 megahertz is pretty fast for a dual 8 gig kit, so that's 16 gigs in total at $70. These are almost pre-inflation or pre-price fixed memory prices from like 2015, 2016. So I'd say this is a really good deal. If you've been waiting to buy RAM, this kit is really nice. I have this exact kit, by the way. Next up, we got a Samsung SSD. This is the A60 QVO 1TB model for $100. Good old 4-bit MLC is working for you now. It's just going to be a more reliable drive overall. You're going to get reads and writes of around 500 megabytes per second, just your typical 2.5-inch SATA drive using the SATA interface, of course. So not NVMe speeds, but for $100, I say this is pretty good price per gig territory we're in. And if you're in the ballpark for a hard drive, Seagate's got a 2TB Barracuda for $49. You can see it's typically around $55. What will happen is you'll pay around $40 to $50 for 1 terabyte, and then you'll get that second terabyte super cheap at a pretty big discount. And check this out, 7,200 RPM, so among the fastest for hard drive reads and writes anyway. Some people will swear by WD, some will swear by Seagate, some will swear by Toshiba. It doesn't matter. They're all hard drives for the most part. You see excellent ratings here. And if you have a huge Steam library like I do for testing and things of that sort, and you transfer this thing from build to build, it's very simple to set up in your Steam account. You just designate that as your main drive for your library, and things will load fairly extraordinarily fast. So it's a great way to transfer all of your games very fast without having to re-download them all, which really sucks, especially when your internet connection is not the fastest. Next up, we've got a Crucial P1 1 terabyte NVMe drive. Now we're in NVMe territory, and these drives are going to be significantly faster than even the Samsung QVO that I showed you earlier. 2,000 megabytes per second reads, 1,700 megabytes per second writes. This is like 4 times faster than that Samsung drive, and for about the same price. All you need is a motherboard with an M.2 slot, and there you go. Now, this isn't the full PCIe Gen 3 saturation here. That would usually cap out at around, I think it's around 4 gigabytes per second. But the fact that we're getting 2,000 megabytes per second, 2 gigs per second, is still incredibly fast, especially at this price point. So yeah, I added this one on my cart. I think I'm going to buy one of these because I can never have too many of these. I go through these pretty fast whenever I give builds away, or even if I build something myself and sell it on Craigslist or whatever. It's nice to have one of these in there because they're easy to install and they're super fast, and buyers tend to like this. Next up, we've got a PowerColor Red Dragon RX 570, pretty much the same card that I showed you from Sapphire a bit earlier, about the same price as well, still a 4 gig card, just from a different company. So maybe you're more comfortable with Sapphire, maybe you're more comfortable with PowerColor, it doesn't matter to me. You have options out there, and it's nice to see multiple cards of this caliber in this price range. Next up, we're in the meat and potatoes of this video, and that is CPU prices. So AMD is absolutely slaying it right now in the Prime Day deals. AMD Ryzen 5 2600 for $120, $120. That's a 6-core, 12-thread CPU. Zen Plus, a 12 nanometer, will work with, assuming you have a BIOS flash, you can work it with B350 or X370. It'll work with B450 or X470 natively, and then same goes for X570. So $120 for that. This is a really, really good deal. If I was building a system in the $800-ish price range, the 2600 would be the one that I would go after in a heartbeat, especially at this price. You can buy an $80 motherboard with this. That's $200, and then use that 60 or 70 gig kit of Corsair LPX Vengeance memory that I showed you, and then there you go, you get an entire platform for under $300. So I think that's a really compelling offer. 6 cores again, 12 threads, great for streaming, great for gaming, even great for content creation on a budget. So this is definitely one to consider. Yeah, it's not Zen 2, but it's pretty darn close, and at these prices, it's just it's really tough to pass up. And moving on from that, we have the Ryzen 7 2700X for $200 even. You can see the list price typically around $300 for this. It was lowered to about $250 around the time Zen 2 became available, and now with Prime Day, we have a $200 price tag. You could actually get the 2700 non-X for a little cheaper. Now, you won't get the beefiest cooler. I think this is the Prism cooler here. I think you get the Spire cooler. I might be wrong. I know it's a smaller cooler with the 2700. So if you plan on using a stock cooler, maybe this is like one reason to go for the X variant. But in general, X variants CPUs from AMD aren't going to overclock much better than their non-X counterparts in the same family. So I would say the better deal would be the 2700, but 2700X is still a great price right now. So $200, yeah, there you go. I mean, if you were in the market, now's the time to buy. All right, one of the last things we have here is the Cooler Master. This is the Hyper 212 Black Edition. Now, we have reviewed this in several videos. You can check them out somewhere in the cards up there. But this is the fully blacked out version. It's not the 212 Evo technically, but the mounting system here is definitely better in my opinion. I think that it's easier to install, and it also looks super sleek. And for $25, this is like Hyper T4 territory. And you're gonna get a cooler that at least matches, if not outperforms, the Prism cooler that you'll get out of the box with the 2700X and the 3700X and AMD CPUs of that sort. So $25 is a really great deal for this, and it's going to look really good in pretty much any build that has some black accents in it. Now, the very last thing I wanted to show you is an AIO. If for some reason you want to go with an AIO over an air cooler, Deepcool has their Captain 240 RGB V2. This includes the pressure relief valve, which should mitigate pressure spikes. You can see it right there. For $60, it's a 240mm AIO for $60. It's one of the cheapest AIOs I've ever seen. Now, it's not going to stay here forever, I don't think, but yeah, so if you're in the market for an AIO, and 240 pretty much fits most ATX builds, then $60 is a steal, in my opinion. By the way, this is the Ryzen 7 2700 I was talking about earlier. $149.99 for this, $150 for 8-core, 16 threads. This is 12 nanometer Zen Plus we're talking about here. You're gonna get decent clocks out of the box. Let things run at stock. XFR2 and Precision Boost are gonna pretty much get these cores to as high as they can possibly go. If you try an all-core overclock, again, you're not going to get as much performance as you might out of a single core under those single or dual-core workloads. So my take is just to leave things at stock. AMD does a really good job boosting natively, and $150 for this one is, again, I think, a steal. So yeah, if you want to pair this with an X470, X570, or even B450 motherboard, even B350 will work just fine with a 2700. I think this is a 65 watt chip, if I'm not mistaken. Then yeah, to me, this is the one to get for $150. Again, you're not going to get as beefy a stock cooler, but just pick up that Hyper 212 Black Edition, and you're good to go with this thing. That'll be plenty for this CPU at stock, and should run pretty quiet as well. So honestly, if I had to choose between the 2700 at 150 or the 2700X at 200, I'd pick this one, the 2700 at $150. This is like the cheapest I've ever seen on Amazon, a modern or relatively modern 8-core 16-thread CPU. So really good job from Amazon here, getting the price down as low as they did. And I'm sure AMD had something to do with this as well. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed these deals. I know there are plenty more out there. These are just the ones that I found kind of just scrolling through at 2 a.m. last night. Actually, this morning, technically. Yeah, yeah, that's just what I do at 2 a.m. Just scroll through Amazon and Newegg and figure out what else to blow money on. That's essentially how my life works. Also, Newegg live stream. Tomorrow, we have the fantastic sale to run through. This pretty much the same thing as Prime Day, just from Newegg, so it's more US oriented, but they have some unique sales as well, and you'll get to see a lot of those in our live stream tomorrow. The caveat, the catch, it's a good caveat, is that we will be giving away $2,000 worth of tech during the fantastic sale on Newegg. So if you happen to live in the US, and I say the US because I have to be able to ship it to you, and Newegg is only a US distributor for the most part, so that would help. I would hate to have to send 15 things to 15 different countries. That would be extremely expensive. So I hope you guys understand that this is more US based thing, because it is Newegg after all. But anyway, $2,000 worth of stuff. If you are living in the States and you want to stop by 6 p.m. tomorrow, Central Standard or Central Daylight Time. I live here in West Florida, so that's why it's Central Time. So 6 p.m. CST, that's 7 p.m. EST, that's 4 p.m. Pacific. And we'll be giving away a bunch of stuff randomly. I have a $2,000 budget from Newegg, so yeah, I was able to work them up to a pretty sweet figure, if I do say so myself, and we're excited to give it all away to you guys. So we're gonna just hunt through tons of stuff, find some really good deals, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's buy this, let's give it away. Someone in the chat to stop by, and maybe you'll win something. Thanks for watching, you guys. Happy hunting during Prime Day, and happy hunting tomorrow for the fantastic sale on Newegg. You guys are awesome. Thanks again for watching. Click the thumbs up button, click the subscribe button, become a member, and I'll catch you in the next one. This is Science Studio. Thanks for searching for good deals with us. I am getting so bad at this.